For the floating axe head. When God cares about the small stuff. In the days of ancient Israel, a group of young prophets gathered under the guidance of the man of God, Elisha. Their home had become too small, cramped and overcrowded, and they had a simple, honest idea: to build a bigger place where they could live and study in peace. So they said to Elisha, "Let us go to the Jordan, cut down some trees, and build a new dwelling." Elisha agreed and went with them. They reached the forested river bank, their hearts light with purpose. The sound of chopping wood echoed through the trees as they labored. And then, it happened. The head of his axe flew off mid-swing. It arced through the air, spun once, and vanished with a splash into the deep, dark waters of the Jordan. He froze. "Oh no, my master," he cried out. "It was borrowed." This wasn't just about a lost tool. In that moment, he was thinking about debt, dishonor, and shame. But Elisha didn't brush it off. He didn't mock the man's fear or tell him to be more careful. Instead, the prophet calmly asked, "Where did it fall?" The young man pointed. Elisha walked over, broke off a stick from a nearby branch, and threw it into the spot where the axe head had disappeared. And then, something miraculous happened. The iron began to float. That heavy, sunken piece of metal rose to the surface and bobbed on the water like a piece of wood. The young man stepped forward, amazed, and reached out to take back what he thought was lost forever. But what makes this story unforgettable isn't the size of the miracle. It's the size of God's care. Because this moment reminds us of something most people forget. God sees the small stuff. He's not just the God of parting seas and raising the dead. He's the God of broken laptops, missed payments, and borrowed tools. He sees when you're worried about rent. He sees the anxiety over the car repair you can't afford. He sees the simple prayer you whisper at night, "Lord, help me find what I lost." And He cares. Here's the lesson. God doesn't wait for your life to fall apart before He steps in. The floating axe head reminds us that nothing is too insignificant for God's attention. And what's impossible for us, like iron floating on water, is effortless for Him. So today ask yourself, what have you lost that you've been too embarrassed to pray about? And believe that the same God who made iron float can lift your burden too.